Hello, this is Vicky, and I'm coming to you today to talk to you a little bit about joy. I was praying and asking God what I need to talk about, and it seemed like joy was kept coming to me today. So joy, we all need joy in our lives. We have it's one of the fruit of the spirits from the Bible in Galatians. I mean, I've got it 5:22 through 23. It tells the fruit of the spirits, and it's the characters that the Holy Spirit wants us to live by is what it's about, and one of them is joy. And you really need joy in your life to have a happiness. Um, and joy, you have to be intentional about it. You because some people, say they're joyful, but they don't show the joy either. And I've always been a joyful person, and you can ask my friends and family. Anyway, but at times you do lose your joy, and you can lose your joy and um, still be happy. You can lose your joy, and you can, because of things that's happened in your life. You can have joy even when you're in sorrow, even when you're in pain. You can still have joy. It's a decision that you make and that you work for. You can't just say, "I'm joyful," and be joyful, even though you do want to tell yourself that. Um, but it really came to light when I lost my husband. This is not this time I'm going to go in detail about losing my husband, but he did pass away due to cancer. But God gave him to me, and and he gave me to him. So after he passed, I didn't realize. I thought I was doing great. I thought I was doing life good. I tried to get back into doing things. Went back to work. Of course, I had a lot of legal things to do and all that, but I really thought I was. And then one day, I was just out driving. My therapy was I just get in the car and drive, and I would end up all over the place. I live in Northeast Oklahoma, so one day I ended up in Kansas because I'm not too far from Kansas. I go into Missouri. I'm not too far from Missouri. And one time I almost was down in Texas, and that's like a 4-hour drive. But anyway, but that was my therapy, and that was how I dealt with it. And then God talked with me through that. And so one day he was telling me, "You don't have your joy," and I go, "What?" Because I was going, "Yeah, I do. I'm happy. I'm not. I'm sad because I lost my husband, but." And finally, it dawned on me, no, I don't have that true deep joy, that joy that comes from your heart, that joy that comes from gratitude, the joy that comes from doing something good, and that joy that's really, really deep, and the joy that comes from the Lord. And so uh, it took me a while, and I prayed about it and prayed about it, and I really then really concentrated on it. About I want my joyful back. I want to be joy. So I made a conscious effort to really stop and think and make sure, and it came back. I started having my joy back. I felt it inside. I know a lot of people said, "Well, you didn't act like you was not joyful." Well, it was inside of me. And so it's what's deep inside. You want that joy deep inside, deep down in your heart. You want that joy. And then it will come out, and people will know it, and people want to be around you, and people will want to be part of your life. And um, so I always try to be joyful, be happy. Um, there's some circumstances you don't want to show your joy, because of things, because you don't want to hurt some people's feelings. Um, but everybody needs joy in their life. And if you don't have joy, um, read Galatians and seek it out for the Lord. That's between you and the Lord. But joy is something that everybody needs. This world needs joy right now, and I just thank the Lord that I have the joy and I have the peace. That's another fruit. Um, but work on your joy, work on being happy, work on, that's another fruit of the Spirit, is happiness. So it all ties together. God ties everything together for us. And so I'm thankful I can have that joy deep in my heart. And I love to show people that joy. I want people to be around me and be happy. I want that to come off me and into them. And I just love that. I really work at that. And some days I have to, some days, everybody has those days that you just don't want to be joyful. You don't feel good, or you just one of those moods. And so that's the days that I really have to, you know, pull out what's inside of me and really depend on my walk with the Lord. And but then, and as soon as I start that, it's, oh, I'm joyful. I mean, it's a deep. It's it's really hard to explain, because it's just a deep, deep feeling. And and so my prayer is that everybody has that joy in their life, joy of going to work. I really, really, really wish people joy of the job they like and the people they work with, and joy in their home, joy raising their children and their grandchildren, uh, joy just going outside and being out in the beautiful air. And of course, I live in rural Oklahoma, and so I'm outside, and I could be out and not see a car or anything. I might hear a train in the distance, and but it's wonderful. I love it, and that brings me joy. And so find what really brings you joy, and really dig deep and harvest that out. And I hope this touches somebody. Um, and I just pray peace and joy over you. And y'all have a wonderful day. And thank you for listening to me.